Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Yoo Mira. Let's get right into it. Yoo Mira is one of the three main protagonists of The God of High School, along with Dae Han and Mori Jean, of course. She's the 25th Master of the Moonlight Sword Style. She was invited to participate in the God of High School tournament, and during the tournament she received the original greed and utilized because are sort of bequeathed it to her, she gained the physical abilities of the king. Due to that, Mandak Singh has recognized her as the successor of the Jade Emperor, not recognizing Dae Han, who most of the Nox organization currently recognizes as the successor to the king. In addition, she has also possessed the National Assembly of the Homeless from Seo Hang Rang. Dear God, I mispronounced that name so badly, even though I love his character so much. I do apologize. She is currently the leader of Neo Nox, a merger between the National Assembly of the Homeless and Mandak Singh's faction of the Nox that he inherited after it split up after the death of the king and Ragnarok as a whole. Initially, Yoo Mira had sort of a mixed personality where she turned from sort of a cute girl into a ruthless monster as soon as she got into battle, which was shown by, Mori Jean comparing her to a gorilla very often. She also dated many strong guys before and entered the God of High School tournament to find a strong male. She's with the secondary purpose obviously being winning the God of High School tournament and finding and getting her wish granted, which was to reinstate the Moonlight Sword Style as one of the greatest martial arts, or well, Kendo, I suppose. Nonetheless, she is also quick to admit her mistakes. While caring and loyal to her friends, Mira has shown to be distrusting and suspicious of any and all strangers, being highly defensive but also polite at the same time, which is sort of a weird thing. But nonetheless, after she was experimented with Mira becomes far more silent and far more deranged. After under Mujin Park's tutelage, she had become an emotionless, cruel killer, with the body of the king and her past memories colliding to make a damaged psyche of loose memories. She now has a major savior complex that gives her an apathy for her enemies and even herself, willing to obtain further power to save her allies. One of her close, I would assume, like her second closest friend is Mori Jean. First, obviously, being Dae Han, who's also her love interest, but I would also put her as his first, in terms of friendship anyway. Now getting into some of her current abilities. Yoo Mira is currently a member of the Six, meaning that she is one of the 6 strongest characters in the series. Oh wait, psych, that doesn't mean that's not what the 6 means at all, you clowns. Although she is somewhere up there, I would assume she is probably 6th in terms of strength across the God of High School tournament universe, that whole thing. It's a weird turn of phrase, but nonetheless. As I mentioned earlier, she is the 25th Master of the Moonlight Sword Style and can easily beat most people currently alive. As a testament to her strength, she also placed 3rd in the God of High School tournament in her city, behind Mori Jean and Dae Han. 17 years after Ragnarok, her skill and abilities were just skyrocketed. She easily bisected one of the strongest judges. Judge, I believe his Judge S. Judge S. She literally just cut him in half like an absolute G. Like everyone else in the series, she has superhuman endurance, superhuman agility, superhuman strength, superhuman speed, and she's of course a master swordsman. Her Charyok, or borrowed power, is one with an absolute bitch of a name, but nonetheless I'm going to try pronouncing it. Yopo Bongxion, also known as the much easier Lubu Fangjian, but who wants to pronounce the easy name, right? Everyone wants to see the guy struggle over that hard ass bullshit Korean name, whatever. It enhances her fighting abilities, and she can use many high level attacks using it. It also enhances her swordless sword style abilities, which is the dumbest turn of phrase ever said in humanity, but nonetheless. Fittingly, her Charyok was the owner of the national treasure she currently possesses, And while using direct contact, Yoo Mira's hair turns white, which I guess doesn't really matter anymore because, well, her hair is permanently white now. She also possesses the blade of Tahatkata, which is the strongest. I think we can objectively say it's the strongest weapon in the God of High School. I can't really think of another one. Maybe Yowe's of that caliber, but I really doubt it. Nonetheless, she also possesses the original greed, or implanted a trace of his life, quote unquote, whatever that means, into Yoo Mira. The original greed, it allows the Blade of Tahatkata to recognize her as its owner because R is a descendant of the king, and hence making her sort of a descendant of the king as far as the Blade of Tahatkata is concerned, and so she's able to summon it. As mentioned earlier, she possesses the body of the king, which she received from R via the original greed. The presence of this power within her makes her Mondak saying, and the Morning Crows recognize her as their Jade Emperor, despite the fact that everyone else from Nox recognizes Dewi Han as the current king, but nonetheless, whatever. In addition, due to the king's body possessing the physical skills mastered to cancel out the rebound damage from using natural forces, she's able to ignore the effects of the natural forces on her, giving her a significant advantage against Dewi. She also obviously got a lot of physical enhancement by having the king's body, increased strength, increased speed, and superhuman senses. After R gave the king's physical power to Yoo Mira, she gets access to the ability of fundamental force manipulation. It's the ability to manipulate the 4 fundamental forces that govern the universe and the world, whatever you want to call it: gravity, electromagnetism, strong nuclear, and weak nuclear. It is presumed that unlike Judge R, she can use them to grant herself power that exists on the world to her disposal, including but not limited to inertia, friction, acceleration, and attraction. Currently, she has only displayed the use of one of these abilities, obviously being gravity manipulation, which is, the king's most iconic ability by far. Yoo Mira displays this ability by casually swinging the Blade of Tahatkata towards an avalanche that threatened the lives of her subordinates and her, although I really doubt she would have died from that, turning the rocks and trees into a giant sphere and stopping it in its path. It is unknown if Yoo Mira can use any other abilities to accomplish this. For the time being, I'm just going to assume it is gravity manipulation. She can also use the Big Bang. Similar to the king, Mira can summon a powerful orb of force energy. Dewi said that this is the technique that had the strength to destroy all of Asia. I believe that currently covers everything I have. I'm not going to get into the individual styles of sword, of the Moonlight Sword style that she's shown. Like, I'm not going to explain what 13th dance and 28th dance is like. That just seems like a huge waste of everyone's time, including my own. So nonetheless, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. And I'll catch you on the flip side. See ya.